Well, welcome and thank you for logging in to join us or join me today. How are you doing?
Doing okay.
Okay. My name is Romy and I'm a counselor with the Ivy study. It's really great to meet you. Uh,
Hi.
can you hear and see me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Um, as you may know from the consent process, we'll be doing some video sessions or video counseling sessions. Um, and Before I get started, I want to make sure that I have the correct phone number for you. Since it will be via Zoom, I want to make sure that I can call you in case we get disconnected or if there's any issues that come up. Is the phone number that we have on file for you the correct one to use today?
hmm
Okay. And I would just be calling to troubleshoot together and see if we can fix the issues, if there are any. And if you're okay with it, if we're not able to fix any of the problems that happen, we can finish our session together over the phone. Uh,
hmm
okay, great.
You mean issues with Zoom or the computer?
Yeah, yeah, if there's any issues with Zoom or the computer. Thank you.
hmm
Also, I ask about your location, and I ask about your location for two reasons. The first one is because we can only participate in the video counseling if we're both in California. And second, for safety reasons, in case there's any sort of emergency or any safety reasons that come up, I know where you're located and I can send you some support.
Okay.
Are you at home today or the address that we have for you?
hmm
Okay. And are you in a private space where you feel comfortable talking about your health care for the next 20 to 30 minutes?
hmm
Okay, great. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what you can expect from the study and from me as your counselor. Again, I want to thank you for your participation. It's really important to hear more about you and your history with HIV. And other areas in your life. The sessions will be 12 sessions, 20 to 30 minutes over 16 weeks, about 4 months total. And this initial session will be learning more about your history. And then moving forward, we're going to talk about, in this order, we'll have two HIV sessions that everybody gets. And then depending on your scores from your survey results, we'll either have one or two mental health sessions. And then after that, depending on your scores, again, we'll have one or two substance use sessions. Do you have any questions about that?
I got distracted. Can you say that again?
Yeah, sure. So I was just sharing what our time together will look like over the next 12 sessions. We'll have
hmm
16 sessions to complete them. And so 4 months to complete the 12 sessions. And the first two will be about HIV. And those are two HIV sessions that everybody gets. And then we'll have one or two mental health sessions, depending on your scores from your survey results. And then we'll have one or two substance use sessions, again, depending on your scores with your survey results.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
hmm
Okay. And then after that, there'll be a list of topics from the menu, and we'll explore different topics and how they affect your HIV care, your health care, and your overall well-being. Um, we'll look to see if there's any challenges that you experience around your healthcare, around your well-being, and then also look for any goals that you may have or that we can create together and problem solve and find motivation and exploring these topics. And these topics will range from anywhere from like sexual and romantic relationships, family of origin. If you wanted to have a session on, say, resources for housing, food, or jobs, we could also do that. So I'll show you the menu list, and then depending on what you feel is important, we will have different topics each week.
hmm Can I
Any,
also make up topics?
sorry?
Can we also make up topics? or is it just from the menu?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, because it's a study and it's been structured already, it would be topics that are from the menu list, but there is flexibility. They are very broad and general topics. So, if there's something that's really important to you, I'm very flexible in trying to identify a topic from the list that would kind of incorporate what you want to talk about that day.
Hmm.
That makes sense?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, And then also, as your counselor, I just want to make the distinction between a therapist and a counselor. Do you know the difference?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So a therapist will dive a little deeper into certain topics, have more room and time for exploring those topics on a deeper level. Whereas a counselor in this study, I'm here to help support problem solving again around like any barriers or goals that you might have. So we can think about it as like a short-term health coach. We're not diving super deep, but I am here to help connect you to resources too, so that if something comes up that you want to discuss in therapy, I'm here to help connect you to a therapist. And that will give you the room and time to explore the topics that you want to a little deeper.
Hmm. Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Hmm.
Okay, great. Um, and then also, in thinking about how we'll communicate, again, we'll have our weekly sessions, and I'm available by text message. The phone number that you have is to reach the IB team and myself, and also email. I'm available Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And if, say, you reached out on a Friday, and I don't get back to you that Friday, I will get back to you that following Monday. Uh,
Hmm.
and we can talk about too, if you have emergency contacts or you'd like some emergency resources, I can provide those for you too, so that you have someone more immediate to call in case of an emergency.
Hmm. What kinds of things can I text you about?
Yeah. Well, if say it's something, there's like a topic that comes up that you think you might want to explore in one of our sessions, but definitely text us about rescheduling any appointments. Um, I was just going to mention too. Oh, yeah. So to answer your question, I think we would limit it to anything that you might want to talk about in our next session and rescheduling appointments.
Hmm.
And you'll receive a 24-hour text for a reminder for our session. And if anything comes up and you know that you won't be able to make it, we understand. We're very flexible. Things come up all the time. Life is busy, and we're happy to accommodate a new time for you that works better.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. And I do want to bring up that although we are very flexible with like appointments and you contacting us. Um, that is going to be the only way that we can communicate is via text or email. We're not allowed to message you, say if like you prefer to message on Instagram or Facebook, social media. We're not allowed to communicate on that.
Hmm. What about by phone?
Yeah, yeah, you can call us. I'm pretty sure that text is preferred from our team, but I'll check with them. This is a really good question.
Hmm.
Do you prefer phone calls?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Um, I will definitely check in with the team and get you an answer.
Hmm.
Um, oh, yes. And then confidentiality. So everything that we talk about in this space is confidential. There are certain things that I am mandated to report. And that would be if you share with me you're having thoughts about hurting yourself or hurting somebody else. Any child abuse or elder abuse, I would need to report, and that would just to be um, safe and sending you some support and care around any of those events if they were to be shared in this space. Okay.
Okay.
And I will start asking you about your history a little bit. Before I do that, I just want to let you know that I'm here. My goal is to make you feel safe, respected, and empowered. And as I ask you personal questions, is there anything about your identity, any aspects of your identity that you think are important for me to know as your counselor as we begin our sessions together?
Mm, I mean, I'm queer.
Yeah, that's important. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm. I don't know what else.
That's fine. Anything that feels important to you is important for me. Um,
Hmm.
so maybe there'll be things that come up and you can always share them.
Hmm.
Okay. And where are you currently living?
In Oakland.
Okay. Do you live with others? Do you live by yourself?
Yeah, I have two roommates.
Do you enjoy living in your home? Do you feel safe?
Mm, I mean, most of the time.
What does it look like when you don't feel safe?
I mean, we get into fights sometimes, but I think that's normal.
Okay. How long have you been living there?
Like 1 year.
Are you from Oakland?
No.
Do you have friends and family in the area?
No, I don't. Well, I have friends.
Friends? Are your roommates your friends?
Yeah, sometimes when we're getting along.
Okay. When you're not getting along, do you ever feel unsafe?
More just annoyed.
Okay. It can that can happen. Feeling annoyed with people that you live happens. You're so close to one another on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Um, one of our topics in the menu talks about boundaries. Maybe this might be something that you'd be interested in exploring, but I'll just make a little note and maybe we can talk about that later.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you said you have friends. Do you feel supported by your friends?
Yeah, but I think I'm always like feeling like I want more friends.
Do you feel like you're a social person?
I'm in between, but it's just hard because everyone's like always busy or working a lot or like people are moving.
Mhm. And when you say you want more friends, what do you want from those friendships? What are you looking for?
Mm, like people I can, I don't know, just like rely on.
Do you have any partners?
No, I don't.
Okay. What about work? Do you go to work? Do you go to school?
I'm in school.
Great. What are you in school for?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay. What kind of classes are you taking?
Um, I'm taking some psychology classes and then also just like regular stuff like math and science and history.
Like your general ed.
Hmm.
Okay. And I heard friends are important to you. Um, do you go out much? Do you get out and socialize?
I do. I hang out with some people from class sometimes. Yeah, sometimes we go out after, but yeah, I feel like I want more friends I can just like do nothing with.
Mhm. Like relax, maybe?
Yeah, or hang out spontaneously or just like have a sleepover.
Okay. And I'm going to ask a little bit about your family. Um, do you have a family that you connect with?
Yeah. Um, they don't live here, but I talk to them sometimes.
Okay. Where do they live?
They live in Texas.
Okay. Do you go back and visit them in Texas ever?
Yeah, sometimes. Um, Usually during the holidays.
Mhm. And when you say you want friends, I'm just thinking too, do you have any friends that you feel are like family, chosen family here?
No, yeah, I feel like that's what I want more of. I have before, but then people like have moved away or gotten busy. So just feels like there's sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Is your family aware of your diagnosis?
Um, no, they're not.
Okay. Do you have friends that are aware of your diagnosis?
I have one friend.
Okay. Is that friend supportive?
Yeah.
I'll ask a little bit about your HIV history. And do you remember when you were diagnosed?
It was like a year ago.
Okay. How do you feel you're coping with your diagnosis?
I think I just try not to think about it,
Hmm.
except for, like what I really need to do.
Yeah. And what is it that you really need to do?
Like if when I have to go to the doctor or like, take my medication.
Yeah. Are you taking a daily pill? Are you on the long-acting injectable?
I'm taking a pill.
Okay. And how's that going for you?
It's fine.
Do you take it
Yeah,
every day? Oh, sorry,
yeah, mostly. Yeah, mostly.
mostly.
I mean, I forget a little, sometimes, but usually I take it.
Yeah. When you say you miss it sometimes, how often is sometimes?
Mm, I don't know, like a couple times a month.
Hmm. Sounds like you're really committed to taking your medication.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I just have to, so
Mhm. And when you go to the doctors, do you feel comfortable talking to your doctor about your HIV?
yeah.
Okay. How often do you see your doctor?
Mm, Maybe like 3 times.
3 times
I think I've been like 3 times, yeah.
in the last year. You've been about 3 times. Okay. So you don't see them too often then.
Yeah, I guess whenever they tell me that I need to go.
And how about with your mental health? Have you ever had a diagnosis like depression, anxiety?
Mm, Not like officially. I don't think I've ever yeah, seen anyone officially.
Sure. How do you feel your mood is most days?
I get stressed out really easily. Yeah.
You get stressed out?
hmm
What do you do when you get stressed out?
Mm, I don't know. I just freak out.
Just freaking out, mean like, what does that mean to you?
Um, it's like, I don't know, I just feel really stressed and it's like hard to think clearly, but I'm like just trying to figure out what I should do. And I don't know, just try to do whatever I need to do. And then hopefully, yeah, usually I have trouble sleeping, but then I guess eventually it goes away.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. And we can talk more about this in our mental health sessions. And if you feel
Mhm.
like you'd like additional support around this, then we can definitely have one of the menu sessions to focus on mental health a little more.
Okay.
And I'll ask you a little bit about your substance use. Do you
Mhm.
use any substances or do you drink any alcohol?
Not much.
Okay. And when you say not much, maybe in a week, how many times would you say?
Like I only drink if I'm going out with other people, so then maybe that'll happen like once or twice a week.
Mhm. And then no substances other than alcohol.
I mean, sometimes I smoke weed to try to help me like calm down or like sleep.
Mhm. Yeah. Anything that you think maybe I should know about with substance use that I didn't ask?
Mm, Not really. I mean, I've done other stuff, but it's not like something I do regularly.
Mhm. Okay. And we're kind of getting towards the end of the assessment. One of the questions that we ask about is your experience with any stigma or discrimination. Do you feel like you've had any experiences being stigmatized or discriminated against that would be helpful for me to know?
Mm. I mean, I don't know. It's sort of like there's like small stuff that just happens all the time, but that, I mean, I think that's just like whatever, just live with it. I mean, I feel like I don't like people don't really know about things about me, so they can't really discriminate against me.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, thank you for sharing. And what are some strengths that you have? Some strengths or some skills that you're really proud of?
Mm, I mean, I'm doing pretty good in school and I really like to swim.
Swimming's great.
Mhm.
How often do you swim?
Mm, like 2 or 3 times a week.
Mhm. Well, thank you for sharing. I hear that you are dedicated in school, that you do what you need to do to make sure that you're healthy by taking your medications. Um, and you're a great swimmer, and that's really great that you have something um, like a passion that you can do a few times a week. Um, I really appreciate your time and everything that you've shared today. Um, as we think about our next sessions, um, would it be helpful for us to look at the menu together and we can think about some topics that you might want to discuss? We can also look at it at a later time.
Sure.
Okay. And I'm just thinking about our appointments. Does this time each week work well for you?
Yeah, this should work.
Okay. And again, you'll get the 24-hour text
Mhm.
reminder. And if anything comes up, just let us know and we can check in
Mhm.
about a time that works better for you.
Okay. So are the other sessions like similar to this one?
Yeah. The other session, so this one we gathered a lot of, I kind of jumped around a bit, trying to answer the questions that I have in my assessment. Um, And we jumped around a little bit more. The other sessions will really be focused, like the core sessions will be focused on HIV for 2 sessions. And then again, depending on your survey scores, we'll focus more on mental health. And then we'll focus on substance use. Just from today's assessment, it sounds like we probably won't be spending a lot of time on substance use.
Mhm.
And then after that, the remaining sessions, you'll be able to choose what topics we're gonna talk more about, and
Mhm.
it'll be a little more focused than today.
Mhm.
Do you have any feedback about today? Your feedback is really important for us to know and for the overall study as well.
Mhm. Um, I guess I'm wondering if like I'll be able to talk more about stuff I want to talk about or if it's more just like answer your questions.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Today was a lot of answering my questions, and thank you for your patience and time with that. We'll definitely talk about what's important to you, and relate it to the menu topics. But to answer your question, yes, we'll be able to talk more in depth about what's important to you during that time.
Mhm. Okay.
Did you have any other questions?
No. You
Okay.
said we could look at the top, like what are the topics?
Yeah, yeah. Let me pull up those topics. What I'll do is I'll put them in the chat and then you can tell me if you have any that you know you'll want to talk about. And again, we can always revisit the topics.
Mhm.
Let me get those for you. Okay, so I'm going to put them in the chat. Can you see them okay?
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot. Or they're like, yeah, social support, maybe romantic relationships. Yeah, I don't know what else. Well, you said boundaries. I don't see that here.
Oh, you're right. And boundaries was fresh in my mind as I talked to the other Ivy counselor. That would
Mhm.
be in our focus sessions moving forward after the first 12 weeks. So I apologize about that. Thanks for catching that. But we could definitely incorporate boundaries
Mhm.
as we talk about relationships.
Mhm. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Well, I look forward to meeting next week and we will be in touch.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.